People thought the worst part was that Unc wasn't the restaurant owner. It wasn't. The real outrage is that the term Tendernism was trademarked by the restaurant owner. What we are witnessing is an old black man being used as a mascot for another man, white man's restaurant. And let's be honest, after seeing all those viral videos of the meat falling off the bone, anybody would want to try it. It was Tendernism that made this restaurant explode online. People come to see him. Keith Lee came to see him. The viral fame, the business, the buzz that came from Unc, not the owner. But when Keith tried to leave a $4,000 tip, security stopped him, saying Unc was too busy. What made people even angrier was the owner's response afterward.
If I would have known he was here, I would have probably asked Edie to stop for a few seconds so we could go over there. That's what I would have done.
The way the owner speaks and Unc's energy just makes the whole thing feel uncomfortable. And ever since then, the owner has been showing up in every Tendernism video. Now, the restaurant is getting canceled, with people saying the owner mistreated Unc and he doesn't get paid for all the popularity he's brought to the place. What's your take on all of this?
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and I actually wasn't gonna talk about this when this shit was raved, the whole Tendernism, because I'm gonna keep it 100 as a black person from the community. Some shit in the community, it don't gel well. I don't like shit that's super hood. I don't like shit that's super ghetto. I like shit that's ghetto. I like shit that's hood. When shit get niggerish, I kind of deviate away from it, right? The whole Tendernism, one, I don't think that's a fucking word, and two, I don't know, it might be the fact that it came off southern, and while I'm in Atlanta and I like Georgia, most southern shit doesn't really gel with me. I'm a city nigga. I'm from Ohio, right? The Midwest. That's not to say I got a problem with the shit, but it kind of deviated into the realm of nigga shit. And I'm just not, you know, I'm trying to elevate, mind elevation, right? So I wasn't into the whole, I had seen it, you know, stopped on a couple videos. To me, it was just an old nigga picking up a piece of meat and the shit falling off the bone. I've never, and that's another thing, growing up in the community, I've never been enthralled by meat that falls off the bone. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Just don't make it tough. Maybe that's the city boy in me. I don't know. I just never gave a fuck about that, right? Saw these jackasses that was online touting this and, you know, going to visit this shit just because he basically was, I don't know, that was his shtick, right? This country and I don't know, that was his shtick. It didn't resonate with me. That's not to say it was a bad thing or a good thing. That's just his shit, and it didn't gel with me. I wasn't the target intended audience. Yeah, so this whole, like, he being used by the white man, first of all, you gotta know, one, don't trust white men. Two, if you think you could trust the white man, see rule 1, right? I live by that cardinal rule. Now this is out in California, I think in Ventura, and he's still a country nigga, right? I don't know if I'm from Louisiana or Texas, one of them two. He from the country, right? But he wasn't using his whole, one, he wasn't using his fucking brain, right? Let's put that out there. I heard they said that the owner had trademarked the word Tendernism. From what my research shows me, he actually didn't. Some lawyer did and tried to give the trademark to Unc. He didn't want it, right? So now the lawyer's sitting on it. Everybody thinking that it was Unc's restaurant. Like I said, when I seen the videos, I kind of didn't really put too much stock in it to give a fuck. I feel like him getting used by the white man or Armenian. I think the dude's Armenian, some shit like that, right? Which he still racially is white. He allowed himself to be used. These black men that allow themselves to be used, or black women, I kind of don't got no sympathy for them at this point. Like, I don't give a fuck, right? Just like the motherfucker that gave the recipe to Jack Daniels, and then they found out 137 years later that Jack Daniels actually was taught by Uncle Nearest, right, which was another old black man, on how to make whiskey. So the Jack Daniels Corporation did the only thing that they figured they could do, which was to give the family of Uncle Nearest their own brand of liquor, I don't know if the shit sells. I've never tried it, but then again, I stopped drinking whiskey, so then there's that. So yeah, like all these black people, I don't give a fuck if it was in Jim Crow or the music industry or even tendernism. Now motherfuckers are just allowing people just to like take advantage of them. Now Unc's generation, they was privy to that, right? The soul singing era, the R&B era, the blues era, hell, the hip hop era. He's a part of that whole era of music and black people just in general. Jim Crow, the civil rights era, right? Everything from 1900 to about like 1985, niggas was just getting taken advantage of by the white man, right? They saw the shit coming. They didn't put too much stock in thinking into business, right? So they got taken advantage of. We could see Muddy Waters, right, with Cadillac Records. As long as them niggas got a Cadillac and a little suit, they was good. Couple dollars in their pocket. Meanwhile, the nigga was taking advantage of them, had a sprawling mansion and shit and several acres, while these niggas live in duplexes with a burnt down Cadillac. Same thing with the rap industry. Niggas in the 90s was getting $150,000 advance, maybe getting 50% of their tour money, and they was good, right? Selling their publishing, not retrieving their masters at a acceptable time, and they're just getting took advantage of. 30 years later, they don't have the masters, they ain't got publishing, and they living in a fucked up old rented house and dusty ass clothes with worn jewelry. Like, what the fuck? You got to put business in every aspect at the front of the endeavor, right? Now maybe one could say, when him starting up the videos with the tendernism, he didn't know it was gonna pop off. Once he saw that them shits hit 1 million, you start trademarking shit. You start going to the owner, look, I need this amount of money, right? Now he went on Comedy Hype or some interview, and he was talking about how Unc is not an employee, but he ain't the owner. What the fuck is he? He a mascot? But once again, that's that nigga's problem. And on top of all that, we don't know why the fuck Unc was going on the interview and the white man was doing all the talking. If anybody should have been doing the talking, it should have been the old black man. Once again, he was letting the white man be the spokesperson for him. And these old niggas, they used to getting took advantage of. Not all of them, but a good number of them is used to getting took advantage of. So like, if he don't speak up for himself, why the fuck should we care? And don't get me wrong, like, my best interest is for black people to actually have what's in their best interest, right? But I can't be with you every step of the way. I can't be with my family members every step of the way. You gotta know that people, especially people of the Caucasian persuasion, is out to exploit you. They got a track record of doing the shit. That's not to say all of them, but a good goddamn portion of them do. So you know what you know in the last like 60 years, and Unc look like he about 72, so know what you know in the last 50, 60 years, why would you ever put yourself in that position, right? But that's just me. That's like, I kind of think about shit like this, especially when it's got something to do with a white person. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think all white people are fucking thieves. But considering that a lot of white-skinned people have done thievery, theft, exploitation of people that look like me, I go in every situation with, you know what I'm saying, white folks, skeptical. There's a bit of skepticism in every situation when dealing with white-skinned people of whatever ethnicity, right? As a black person, you just gotta do that. And like I said, the cardinal rule is don't trust the white man. Rule 2, if you think you can trust the white man, see Rule 1. If you live by that, you can't go wrong. In any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do. And this shit was not supposed to span no 9 minutes, but whatever. I'm out. No.